Hello everybody. I'm back. I'm outside. You may hear some lawnmowers going, but I figured I'd be outside. It's a hot day. The shed's probably okay right now, but I figured change of scenery. I'll do it outside. Move this a little bit like that. Maybe that's a bit of better angle, I guess. So I was recently going through my my recommendations in YouTube, and I came across an interview with Dave Cavett from the Dave Cavett shows long ago in the 70s, and Orson Welles. And I'm like, all right, I'll click on it. For some stupid reason, I clicked on it, and some reason it was in my recommendations. I don't know why. So I clicked on it, and during the interview, they were discussing various things, and philosophy came up. Cavett said, I probably would have been a philosopher back in the day, in the ancient times and stuff. And then Orson Welles retorted and said, I think philosophy's dead, which kind of rattled me the last couple of days since I've seen it. And he says, I'd rather be in anthropology and, study human culture, basically. And I got to thinking, how is philosophy dead? And it kind of rattled me. And I'm thinking to myself, well, when was the last great philosophical idea or ideas in the mid to late 20th century, other than there wasn't anybody. I couldn't think of any. So I was like, well, Albert Camus, he's probably in Sartre. I think I said that right. I always screw that up. But they came up with stuff, but it's more as existentialism type stuff. It's not so much. It's a continuation of other stuff, which is fine. It adds to the conversation, right? But thinking the last 70, 80, 90 years, there hasn't been any groundbreaking thinking. And I got to thinking, well, maybe he's right. Maybe philosophy is dead. Maybe it's pointless and useless and serves no purpose. And that is true. Now, before I came out here, I did a quick Google search, and I found philosophers that are influential in the 20th century, late 20th, early 21st century, and they have some ideas, but they're not those profound catch on to into the culture. You know what I mean? Like when we see movies and stuff, like existentialism kind of bleeds into stuff, and nihilism and all those things kind of happen. In this stuff doesn't seem to have gotten on anything. It's more academia, talk back and forth kind of stuff. Like, and I'm sure if one of them stumbled upon it, they'd call me an idiot and stuff, because they got like all these years of academia and the intellectual stuff. But to me, as a layman, a lot of that stuff I don't think applies from what I saw. Now, I saw these philosophers and I saw their books and stuff, and some of them are intriguing, and I'm gonna dive into that. But on the surface, it doesn't look like it's done much. So, but to be fair to them, I need to read about it and see what their idea is and explore that a little bit more before I be judged too harshly. But thinking about it, nothing's really caught on. So then I get to thinking, and he's like, well, it seems like science is maybe, which is kind of interesting, because philosophy and science went hand to hand in the beginning, and then they kind of branched apart. And it seems like maybe they're back together, and maybe the new philosophy really is science, because a lot of my opinions and thoughts are based off the science that we have now. Like I've mentioned before in a video with M theory, which completely flipped up my mind, and I'm still recovering from that, trying to figure things out, and add it into how I perceive the world and my place in it and my meaning and stuff. And then you get my stoicism, and then you get existentialism and nihilism, and all of these things kind of trying to fit them together. And it's hard to do, and I don't know if you can. And like I said before, I think a couple of weeks ago in a video where I said, I just want to blow it all up. Everything that I've learned, I just want to blow it all up and kind of get a clean slate, a new perspective on my place in the world, our place in the world, in the universe, in the grand scheme of things, what does it all mean and what is the purpose? That's kind of what I was thinking, but can you even do that? Like, I've wrestled with that before. Like I just want to forget everything I've read and seen and everything else and just kind of create my own philosophy. But then again, I already know. You can't take the toothpaste and put it back in the toothpaste. Once you know, you know. So now I'm in the process of taking all these ideas and stuff and formulating it into something that may catch on. I know it sounds crazy. Like just a common person just making these YouTube videos and thinking that maybe he could come up with a philosophy that, I don't want to say groundbreaking or anything like that, but kind of shakes things up a little. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in academia, I'm sure these people that come up with all this stuff, these theories, it's a big deal. But to the common people, nobody knows about it, nobody cares. I don't know, just a thought. Do you think philosophy is dead? Do you think it's pointless? It kind of is, right? I mean, it satisfies your need and your perspective of the world and justifies your point of view. But when you're, in the end, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't solve, well, sometimes it does. Stoicism helps with relationships and stuff, but for the most part, and I think that's why I like Stoicism so much. It is very practical and you can use it day to day. But that doesn't solve all the questions. I had a dragonfly flying around me. Solve all your questions. And I lost my train of thought because of the dragonfly. See, that's life. It just comes out of nowhere and throws you right off, and, you know, he's scoping out the pool for some reason. But is philosophy dead? I would say he's right. Orson Welles has to be right, because there's nothing that's really caught on or whatnot. And I would say with the last 40 years with academia and all that crap that they've come up with, I don't think it applies to everyday people, to be honest. I know I'm all over the place with this because I just said I'll read, and I get, like, my eyes are watery for some reason. I think my allergies are driving me nuts. And I said I would give them a chance and read their books and read on their theories or their point of view or whatever. And I will do that. But like I said, nothing's caught on. You know? So maybe science is the answer. I don't know, but then you question the science too, because, you know, things being the way they are, what's really true? I don't know. When I read M theory and everything that I've learned before in science and everything is like, well, that doesn't, it's all flipped upside down. But that's the beauty of all this, is the journey of figuring it out, right? I don't know. You guys recommend anyone in the last 100 years, no, less than that, 70 years, that kind of, other than Albert and Satar, I can never say it right. I know. I'll get butchered. One of these intellectuals will come and just yell at me over things. So, any recommendations on someone that I might not, maybe in academia, they you know, like I said, there was a top 20 list I was going through, some interesting stuff, but for the most part, how does that really apply to humanity and its place and all that stuff? It seems like it was more based on social stuff, which is, you know, interesting to say the least, but that might be more politically motivated social stuff and not so much the big questions of what's the point of it all kind of thing. So I don't know, that's what's on my mind today. And then I even, like, I was watching, and I'm going to do another video on this. I was watching Scott on Tape, who I enjoy watching his videos. He's one of many. And he visits, one of his things is he visits graves of famous people and stuff, or interesting people, I should say that too. And he was visiting a grave recently, and I was looking him up, as he's talking about the person he was going to, or the deceased person, I should say, visit. And I'm thinking about the graves and all those people. that people don't even go visit. And I'm saying, well, what the hell was the point of their life if no one's... Sure, there's a marker there. That's the footnote of everything, right? Like you get a marker, a plaque, an urn on someone's fireplace or something, or whatever you're gonna do. I mean, then I started thinking of those people's legacies. Like that kind of fades away. But I want to do another video on that at some point. So, but the point of this video is my question is philosophy really dead? Is me continuing analyzing and philosophizing, if you will, pointless? Does it really matter in the 21st century? I think it does. I think we, for all our technology and our wisdom, so to speak, and all that, and our political know-how and stuff, I still think we need, and I think a lot of us do contemplate these things, the deeper meaning of things. You know, there was an article I was reading before I came out here where the guy mentions, there was I forget the philosopher, the quote that he used, shoot. And he's talking about, everyone's already asked these questions and they've answered it. Basically is what he's saying. And, you know, there's nothing new under the sun, is basically how I interpreted it. I could be wrong. Of course, I don't have it in front of me, so who knows? But, so maybe we have those questions, right? We the same questions. And people have tried to answer it repeatedly, trying to answer the question, the meaning of life, the point of existence, where do we fit in the universe and all that stuff. And people have come up with supposed answers. And I think maybe in the last 70, 80, 90 years, we'll just make it 100, people got complacent with what came before and kind of just accepted that instead of challenging it still. I could be wrong. I know in academia, they battle back and forth with theories and ideas and all that stuff, but in an intellectual way. Like these people aren't living like an everyday life like you or me, you know, get up, go to work, and still contemplate existence, life, and the meaning and everything else, and why things are the way they are in the world. And then you get the academia side of things, and people kind of go with it. But does that stuff apply to reality, like everyday life? I don't know. Just thought I'd throw it out there. So I guess that's going to do it for this one. I had planned to do a video last night on ASMR, and I should have done it because I'm kicking myself in the pants because the cicadas were doing their thing. We had crickets chirping like crazy, and we had frogs, tree frogs, or whatever you want to call them, doing their thing around here. It was just very nice, and I should have done it, but I didn't. For reasons I don't know, because I wanted sleep, and I got like almost 8 hours of sleep. And I've been enjoying catching up on my sleep, so I didn't do that. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. It's a hot one. You can hear the bugs in the tree there because it's hot. I think they're called sogies. I don't know what they call them, but anyway. I don't know. I don't know what those bugs are, but they always make the sound when it's pretty hot out. So anyway, I'm going to bolt. Guys, think about philosophy. Is it pointless? Is it worth anything? In the 21st century, what are your thoughts? Give me your opinions, let me know, and I'll catch you guys later.